Welcome. Next Level Ministries is about to kick off our fall 2022 ministry season.
And we're really excited to share some big news with you. Just before we do that, we want to share a short ministry update.
Yeah, so we have some updates that will take you back to just this past May. We met with all our leaders here in the Ottawa region as well as the Kingston-Brockville region. And it's an appreciation time for all our leaders. But it was really great because it was in person. We got to meet everybody there and hear their stories. And it was very encouraging, the stories we heard, that they were in groups during the most difficult time and they had support. But that wasn't the only news we heard.
That's right. We heard some of those great stories, but we also heard some difficult stuff, that it was a really fatiguing, tiring time for group leaders trying to help their groups trudge through the mud, stay committed, stay close to one another through this, all the challenges that came with having to meet online and all the inconsistencies of that. So group leaders were tired, for sure.
And then that brought us up to just a few weeks ago. We went with all our leaders and encouraged them once again as they start their fall season, gave them some tools to help them. That transitioned into in-person meeting and maybe to work through some of the challenges that they would have had in divisions within the group of different opinions, all those kinds of things. So lots has happened over the last 2 years in groups.
That's right. Now, despite some of those challenges, we heard a couple specific reports that were quite encouraging we wanted to share with you. The first was from two church leaders, and in the same season, in fact. They both shared something along the lines of this: if God had not provided Next Level Ministries model to their church, they probably wouldn't have a men's ministry today.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
We also heard from a military chaplain who took our training and said this. He says, this model that you have, this Next Level model of small groups and this community, biblical community, is not new, but it is forgotten.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting that we agree it's a biblical model, and we certainly didn't make it up, but we think it's been kind of set aside. It reminds me of that verse in Hebrews 10:25. Not forsaking the gathering of yourselves together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think there's something in those verses that it is quite easy to forsake gathering together and to fall into that habit. And as churches begin to gather together in full force again, we want our groups to be doing that. And we're just really grateful that they had a group. Can you imagine not having a group during such a challenging time without that kind of support and relational encouragement? So we're glad that we were able to do that. And for the military Christians, this is a means for them to be discipled and grow in the Lord. So we're excited about that.
That's great. So great to see them pursuing that together. We're committed, we're staying committed to pursuing and encouraging group members, group leaders, and churches throughout this next fall season. But we think that in this fall season, it's time to celebrate. Celebrate for what God has done over the past season, but also over the past 22 years. So we got some big news to share.
So this is finally the big news. We're getting to it.
This is are they ready?
I don't know. Everyone sit down for a moment. I think that'd be safest.
Here's the big news. We are, for the first time in 3 years, coming together as a Next Level family, you included, to have our Next Level celebration for men and women on October 15th, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Men and women?
Men and women.
That's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome. That's right. So it'll be at the Metropolitan Bible Church in Ottawa, October 15th, 1 to 4 p.m.
Middle of the month, exactly.
Middle of the month,
Middle of the day, exactly.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
Exactly.
And it's going to be a blast. We want to invite you to come with us. It's free. There's no charge. But it'll just be a wonderful time together. In fact, we've got a few things planned, right?
Yeah, we've got some great things planned. There's going to be a great Next Level band, so great worship, singing, and whatnot.
That's right, yeah. And one of my favorite parts of celebrations always is the story time, the testimony time. We'll get to hear from men and women whose lives God has been impacting and transforming and using, just hearing about the things that God is doing so we can praise Him together.
Yeah. One of my highlights is the food. I know that's not very spiritual, but
that's why I'm coming.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyways, it's a great reason. What are we having for food?
Appetizers and desserts.
Not both.
Both.
Both. Appetizers and desserts. You heard it here. Anyway, so we're looking forward to that. And it's free.
It's free,
okay,
yeah.
This is
that's right.
So it'll be fun time to do that. What else are we
Yeah, another one of the parts that I really enjoy is when we get to break out into small groups. So the men will break out into their own small groups, the women will break out into their own small groups, and we'll get to discuss that Hebrews 10 type thought together of the value of community, the importance of making community our habit.
Yeah. So they get into their own groups, just and just hear about what's going on in the ministry, what it's all about. Yeah.
That's right.
That's a great way to learn.
Yeah, exactly. So a ton to expect at this celebration, but there's even some bigger news that we want to tell you at the celebration.
At the celebration, you'll have to wait till you get there, but it's going to be great. We are moving forward as a ministry. We've got some great news to tell you. We're excited about that, casting that vision for you.
Yeah.
But also to let you know that we need you to be praying for us, and we'll continue to need financial supporters as we move forward with some of these things that God is leading us to do. So we're excited about that. There'll be an opportunity for those who would like to support the ministry to do so without any pressure, of course.
That's right. Yeah, no obligation. Everyone's invited. Whether you're a group member, a group leader, whether you've been praying for the ministry for years or just heard about us yesterday, maybe you're a supporter, or maybe you have no idea what Next Level is all about and you're just curious.
Anybody can come, is what we're saying. Yeah. Invite
Anybody.
somebody and enjoy a great afternoon. Yeah.
That's right. So we'd love to have you there. Next Level celebration for men and women, October 15th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. We'll see you there.
Can't wait to see you there.
That's right.